Mayor Mielke, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. Looking at, again, change of seasons here, road construction projects kind of wrapping up. We still got a few trouble spots. I've got one spot I personally have to give you a hard time about because you've impacted my commute home every day, but that's
Sorry.
just on a, personal level. But things were pushed back because of weather
Yeah.
at one point or another this summer, and now everything's kind of in a last push to wrap up before it gets cold.
Well, hello, Wasa. How you doing? First off, my apologies for any inconvenience caused, but yeah, this has been a record again, like the record winter that we had. We had record precipitation this spring and summer too, and it's held some things up. Not so bad like you would think. Most of the road projects will be done here before the end of October. There's another one that should be done at the latest, hopefully by mid-November, and that's First Avenue. The infamous, yes, I know it's inconvenient, but think about it, folks. Most all these projects need to be done. They need to be done for years. In moving them forward, yes, I realize the inconvenience caused, but the infamous, when it's all said and done, it's going to look great. It's going to enhance the community. It's going to attract more people to come here. Infrastructure is one of those necessary evils, and it needs to be fixed, sometimes replaced, and that's what's happened a lot here in Wausau. But it's a good thing because it won't have to happen for most of these locations now for years to come.
No, that's exactly what I'm telling myself because I'm going through the 52 Parkway Stewart Avenue intersection, every day on my way
Okay.
to and from work. And last two winters that I've been here, I've noticed that intersection just becomes terrible with potholes at one point or another, and it's been patched two or three times I think since I've lived here in the almost 2 years we've been doing this. If that's gonna fix that problem, I will gladly navigate around the cones during my right and left
Well,
turns.
again, just through June through July and the beginning part of August, we put out over 325 tons. And we had such a late spring and a cold one at that, with snow on the ground even going into May. Folks, it's kind of like our leaf pickup that's coming up. It's October and November. We live in a beautiful place, but we all know that the weather can change at the drop of a dime. When it does, we'll get the message out as far as leaf pickup or whatever the case may be. Again, we provide so many services that most cities in Wisconsin do not provide for their residents. So I would think that people could be positive about that, and most genuinely are, and they understand. Um, the good news is, like I said, everything is going full steam ahead, so to speak. The road projects will be done by and completed, like I said earlier, by mid to late November at the very latest, depending on which one it is. Lots of infrastructure being done. You do it while the season is there. Unfortunately, it's been kind of tough this year, and in talking with other mayors and administrators, they've had the same issues. But you know what? Like everything else, we'll get through it, and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll come through on the other end one way or another, and it's certainly a long journey sometimes. I mean, the road construction season, again, it's you have to do these projects when you can, and
Well, there's winter, and then there's construction
Yep.
season, as they say.
Absolutely. But one of the things that folks are going to be maybe taking advantage of here for what's left of the nice outdoor weather, and of course for next year as well, the new bike share program, which has launched. You've got a bike share station in the River Life Park actually right now. And tell us how that's been going since that's launched here in the last week.
Got launched last week. It took a little bit longer than what he anticipated, but you got to make sure everything's all set to go. And it's another one of those little fun, unique things that make Wausau special. It's really no different than many other cities, especially those with the riverfront like we do. It's one of those amenities that we're bringing to our residents to take advantage of, or visitors. And next spring there'll be even more down there and throughout the city. The bike share program, it's something cool. And once again, Wausau last year got recognized as the second favorite, second friendliest. There we go. Bicycle city in America behind Boulder, Colorado, and that's really quite an accomplishment from a few years ago. Sorry, say that quick 10 times.
Yeah,
But anyway,
absolutely.
we got through that. But anyway, um, it's just one of those things that make Wausau special. And nobody can't miss those bikes. They do stand out in a good way. But it's basically for visitors or residents if they want to go for a bike ride here, there, wherever, to go for it.
Yeah, and that's one kind of goes hand in hand with what you've talked about when you talk about things like reclaiming the riverfront. And making that a great outdoor space for people to enjoy the Wisconsin River and everything else in downtown, because people want to be outside and they want to be active and they want to be by the water. Well, we've had two of the three
Right.
here this summer. Now we've got the third, right?
And that's been something that we've been working on for a little while. And again, Wausau has really become a bike-friendly community here in the last couple of years with all the multiple paths and things that we've done on the road as far as pedestrian and bicycle crossings, etc. It's just kind of something more of a big city feel, if you will, for our little community that makes it special.
Yeah, and of course with the downtown businesses as well. I know the plan is you're going to be putting a few more of these stations up there. You just have the one in the River Life Park right now. Do you have any idea where you might be placing the other ones in the future?
More downtown on 3rd Street. When things get further progressed as far as the south or the North Tower area, it's going to be up and down throughout the Riverfront District basically, and the downtown area. We want to get it out there. I know we're kind of short as far as the season, but just to get it out there that yes, it's coming. It's going to be even bigger next year and more years to come.
And how do folks take advantage of these bikes? Because I know there's an app that goes with them, and then there is a fee, right?
There is a fee, and they do have to use and swing their app on there. That way we know who's got the bike, etc. We want to make sure that they're taken care of and put away properly and safely. It's a pretty simple process though. You run your app across it, get on the bike and go, and then drop it back off at another location. And that's kind of similar like scooters, if you will, in different cities. You see that all about right now, and I don't know if we're going to be doing that, but again, it's actually a fairly easy procedure. If you've got your app phone, just swing it, and you're all set to go, and the fee and everything will be paid for right there. So.
Yep, and I think if I remember right, there's a couple different ways you can go, either an annual membership or by the half hour, by the hour fees too. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll look forward to that, and you can check those bikes out at the River Life Park, and they're right there to rent.
Can't miss them.
Take them around downtown. Yeah, they look they're very bright too, if I remember.
And that was done on purpose.
Stand out, yeah, so we know who they belong to. Right?
Correct.
And of course, talking about the River Life Park, you did just host Governor Evers earlier this week. What were his impressions of the park?
Well, the governor and the new WEDC secretary, Missy Hughes, came to town. They had heard about here in Wausau what we've done, and I gave them a presentation as far as everything that had been completed here the last couple of years, what the area had been, the issues that we had while getting it done, and then now that it is done and completed. And more importantly, as far as what's going to be happening on the northern side of the river, as well as heading south on the path to downtown. They were honestly very, very impressed, to the point where even the governor said this should be a model for other riverfront towns in Wisconsin to follow. And again, I think it just was lucky because we've gotten a lot of input from citizens, a lot of input from the council, from city staff, the stakeholders here in the city of Wausau, and what they had wanted and what they wanted to see. And that has been nothing but a big positive. Remember what that area looked like a little over 3 years ago and what it is today. So again, the governor was very impressed, and I was pleased that he came to Wausau, and I was honored that I could give him a tour of the area and what's going to be coming. Speaking of which, we just got numbers here last week as far as Wausau is among the best places in the state as far as new construction growth. We're at 5% plus. Well, some may say that's not a lot. It really is a big deal. What that shows is that businesses and residents are interested in coming to Wausau. And it's more than, say, just about any other city here in Wisconsin. Like La Crosse, Eau Claire, Green Bay, they're at like 2%. Madison was only at 3%. So this is something to be kind of proud of. Again, we're on the start of our third year of record economic development and job growth. Last year we got recognized by the federal government, the Bureau of Statistics and Labor, as far as being the best city and metro area in Wisconsin for economic development and job creation. And I'm hoping we can do it a second time too. I got some numbers here at the end of July, for the end of July from January, and it looks really, really good. And we're going in the right direction.
Absolutely. But of course, one more thing before we let you go. We can't let you go without talking about what happened here in Wausau a couple of weeks ago now with the shooting incidents at the Pine Grove Cemetery. Obviously, something that the city has gone through twice now in the last 3 years. I know the shootings kind of hit home for you because you're a friend of one of the victims. Chance to talk on that a little bit and give your reaction to what happened and the way this community's come together in the days and weeks since.
Well, a good news, bad news type of thing. We'll start with the bad news. Once again, this is a tragedy that did not have to happen. The individuals involved, Patty Graham, you could just not ask for, who was the manager of the Pine Grove Cemetery. I've known her since high school. You could not ask for a better person. Just literally, she could light up her room and she would help anybody. Sad is an understatement. Here's the good news. First off, our police department and our emergency services all came together quickly. They got this guy within 12 minutes. Then they took care and processed the area, investigated it thoroughly, and moving forward on that. But here's the really good news. And again, such as we had with the incident back in March of 2017, the community has come together. For Patty's memorial on Monday night, it took about an hour and a half for me to get inside the church, and I know it was packed on Tuesday. That goes to show you what type of individual she was. And for the other victims, we pray and we wish for the best for them. This was an isolated incident. Unfortunately, in today's society, these are some of the things we have to face, which we didn't have to a number of years ago. And unfortunately, it has hit our city as well on occasion. But again, I cannot stress enough about the good in people. It's a great community. The people that live here are wonderful, and they're good, and they care. And we've already come together, and we will. This will be tough to get over on a personal level, especially. She was just in here a couple weeks ago after a meeting and chatted and gave me some encouragement, and for that I will always be grateful. But things do happen. The good news is this is a great community. It's an isolated incident, but we're going to move forward, and we're going to come forward together. And I think we've already have, and we will continue to do so. It's a great community with great people.
Absolutely, it certainly is a great community with great people, like you said. When you what do you want people to remember the most about Patty and what she contributed to this community? Because she was somebody who was very active.
She was very kind. She was very sweet, always positive, very uplifting. And like I said, she would do anything for anybody. And it's, when I first heard that this happened down there and that somebody had been lost, I was just praying it wasn't her. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to, whatever. But you could not ask for a better person. And there's a lot of people like that here in Wausau. And I really believe in my heart there is more good in the world than bad. Yeah, there's some stinkers out there. And I joke when I say, if we were all the same, it'd be a boring world. But she was just truly one of those very special people. And my heart goes out to her husband Tom and her family. And they too are good people. And we will get through this. Again, just to remind everybody, an isolated incident, and there's far more good in the world than bad. You gotta have hope, you gotta have faith, you gotta be positive and be optimistic. And I try to do that every day in my position.
We will continue, certainly all of us here in the Wausau community will continue to lift those up that were impacted by the incident, and of course law enforcement as well for their great response, and the officers that will have to deal with this and other incidents for the rest of their life in their line of work as well. So always appreciate the time, Mayor Mielke, and again we'll look forward to chatting again next month.
Thank you so much. Take care, Wausau.